Hello, kindred soul. It's Jennifer Maki coming to you with the fourth episode of the Soulful Way podcast, reading from Just One Soulful Thing, a simple adventure in reclaiming your wild wisdom. The chapters we're going to read two today, and the first one is called So, Who's Traipsing That Razor's Edge with Me? The quote is by Yo-Yo Ma. Things can fall apart or threaten to for many reasons. And then there's got to be a leap of faith. Ultimately, when you're at the edge, you have to go forward or backward. If you go forward, you have to jump together. If you have found yourself teetering, craving answers to those what ifs mentioned in previous chapters, looking for a way to steady your world, clear the clutter of mind, rediscover unwavering hope, learn to listen to yourself, trust yourself, speak the truth burning within in a way you can be lingeringly proud of, to get back to the joy you once knew, or experience it for the first authentic time in your life, or if you're looking to mingle more with your inner kid and wise sage, savor the life you have been given, desire more, long to balance your offerings with the receiving in service and relationship, fortify yourself, become brave enough to welcome rather than dread that edge, or you want all of the above, then what an adventure we're about to embark on, you and me. The goal of this creation, this book, and the process is to simplify the how-to, delight in the undertaking, release all that has a history and pattern of tripping us up, and take our soulful, inspiring, enlightening power back just one easy peasy step at a time. In this, we will review what grips us, look crazy full on in the face, on an honest micro level, and take a glimpse at the macro level just long enough to realize we can only truly take control of our own singular little, albeit profound, life. But oh, if everyone did, what a grander, sweeter world it could be, should be, dare we hope, will be. This simple adventure in reclaiming or deepening your wild wisdom is experiential and for life. We begin slow, and then you take it all at your own pace. You will know when it's time to flow on to the next and the next, when to step back from the edge and breathe, and when to leap back in and on and through. But before we take to it all, I'm inclined to think we could all use a little soul seeker Peep Pep talk. This is the next chapter. The quote is by John Joseph Powell. It is an absolute human certainty that no one can know his own beauty or perceive a sense of his own worth until it has been reflected back to him in the mirror of another loving, caring human being. Ever notice how when a friend is in need of an arm round, a shoulder, or a boost of belief, no matter how we are feeling, we can somehow conjure cape and spiffy spandex and find the words and ways to comfort, elevate, and ignite a spark of possibility with our compassion and love? But when the friend in the mirror falters, the reflection we truly should admire rather than admonish, the will and words can somehow elude us. Whenever we embark on a new adventure, one that scares us, even just a little, before we head onto the field or ice to engage in the game of a lifetime, a coach in the locker room is a must. For we soulful seekers, it is even more imperative because we like the solo journey of discovery, but this can drive us into isolation, and we simply do need each other on this ever-evolving journey. And well, I know we just met, and I don't know you, but I kind of do know you because I know me, and there's a little bit of each of us in one another. With limited time in this world and so much to embrace and be and offer, I feel you and me can always use a pep talk from a fellow sojourner. So this is mine to you before we launch into water and sky and beyond. You, my friend, are precisely where you need to be to embrace the next level of learning and keener knowing so that you can become the next extraordinary version of you. There may be moments when you may not feel worthy or ready or capable right in the second, but if we stick together, our courage can carry each other. I can lend you my hope via these words, and you can lend me yours in the energy of collective adventuring. We can share our stories and find the common thread of our hearts entwined in our brilliant, broken, alive, aching, wild, wondrous wanderings to hear. You are glorious in all your sheens and cracks, the light of you unable to be tamed by a world that may work to bend you, but can never break you without your permission. And as your new soul friend, I will never, ever give them that. You may have had an inkling or been tapping all along, but just in case you missed the internal memo, you have a wild wisdom within you that is calling. It's like the go-to guy or girl Friday guiding in Tony Stark's Iron Man suit, but way cooler and smarter. You should let him lead. You know that subtle whisper from that centered place of you? The one that somehow seems to know just what's right? The one that when you listen to it steers you on the perfect path, and when you don't, you've come to realize means you're about to learn a powerful lesson. Yes, that one. As you can imagine or keenly know, we can only hear that voice within in the stillness. When we clear the superfluous convos and people from the scene and tune in to listen. That is part of the mission of the Just One Soulful Thing gig. To fix it so you can hear and adhere to that part of your brilliant self and give it the space and license to take you by the hand to the places of sweet possibility. And now, new and fabulous friend, let us head to the lake. That's the end of the chapters of today, but what an amazing thought process that goes through when we think about the edges that we walk and the kindreds who walk with us and the pep talks that we so need. So who's walking those edges with you, those dreams, those desires? Who's walking with you and who's inspiring you? And who are you inspiring along the way? Those are kind of the questions I hope you dive into within yourself today. Anytime that we embark on something creative, on something inspiring, it's scary. And we can feel as though we're speaking and yelling into a void and we're not really sure who's with us on the journey. But we can't allow that to deter us from delivering what we deliver, from listening to those whisperings and that inkling within and following where those inklings lead and taking action just one soulful thing at a time. Because we're all here to deliver incredible things into the world. There's no one like us. There's no one else. The roles of all other people are taken. We have to play the role we're meant to play and follow the creative inspiration that calls to us from within and follow through with that in some capacity. It doesn't need to be perfect, nor can it ever be, whatever that word even means. We need to be able to just put it out there and trust that the kindreds who are meant to find what we do and what we offer, what we share, what we give, what we create, are precisely the kindreds who are meant to follow and meant to join us hand in hand on that journey. And those that are meant to be inspired or encouraged by the words that we share and the creative elements of who we are put out into the world and into the universe. We have to trust that. And it's not always easy. I know even in my own life, no matter how long I've been doing this, putting myself out on video or in podcast or even on Substack, bearing my soul, sharing, it's not always easy. And, those years, for many, many years, those thoughts were shared only in a journal. And now I find, particularly in the environment of Substack, that we are a band of kindreds who are sharing and bearing from our soul. Sometimes we can feel like we're alone in that, but we can't be focused on the numbers. We can't be focused on the number of people who are reading or engaging in what we're doing. We have to take into consideration the silent readers, the people that are being touched by words that are fleeting by a screen, even if they don't stop to put a little heart on what you have to say. We have to trust that whatever we're doing, whatever we're creating, is what we're meant to be doing right now. And we have to just believe and know that those that will find us are meant to find us. But they can't find us if we don't put ourselves out there. And so this week, think about those people that are traipsing along that edge with you. And then think about the people who might need a pep talk. And if you need a pep talk for yourself, don't wait for someone else to give it to you. Although I'm happy to at any point in time. But maybe it is this week that you sit down with your journal and you write about the pep talk you would give your best friend. That's you. and what kind of a pep talk do you need, and then write it out and then place it somewhere you can read it morning, noon, and night until you can kind of get back that energy, or even just to spur you on the way to say yay you, celebrating your yes moments. Thank you for listening today. I'm deeply grateful whenever I get to share a moment. Of course, I love kindreds traipsing with me along that edge. So please feel free to give me your comments. I read and answer everyone. Feel free to join the chat on Substack of the Soulful Way. We actually gather around the fire on the chat week to week. We talk about our yes moments. We set soulful intentions. I'd love to have you there. Of course, you can always pick up your copy of Just One Soulful Thing and then follow along on the podcasts. And I'm also really excited, and it's nerve wracking and it's a lot of work, but I'm pulling together. I've done workshops for years, over 20 years doing workshops with different types of audiences, but I've always dreamed of taking a group of kindred souls out into the world to adventure together. And so I'm launching Soulful retreats. And the first one is in Guatemala in October for 8 days. And so there's lots of details that you can find out about that. I'm only taking a few people on that beautiful retreat and doing all kinds of inner work with Just One Soulful Thing. And there's lots of little gifts and prizes along the Just One Soulful Way. But we'll also be doing some beautiful immersive experiences in Rio Dulce, which is a wonderful sacred region of Guatemala. And I've been there, was just there in May with my son, and it was a wonderful experience. And so I'm very excited to bring people along in that. And then the process for that is you just reach out and I will be happy to, there's probably a link somewhere in this email if you're reading it, or if you're on social media, or if you're on YouTube, I'll make sure that you've got a link there to a questionnaire. And that questionnaire just allows us to dive in a little deeper to find out if this is the right fit for you, because it's quite a unique retreat and it's quite a quiet, soulful retreat. It's not as much about the busy, it's about the deeper dive and the kindred connections and sharing. And so we fill out the questionnaire, and then we have a little bit of a call and a connection. It's all free, so that we can find the right fit of kindred souls and our people coming on that trip with us. Thank you so much for being a part of this experience and this journey and this adventure within yourself and with us as kindreds traipsing along that edge together. I look forward to next time.